Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. I'm Nate Weitzer, flying solo today. It's moving day after the trade deadline. The dust has settled a little bit, coming at you from the road, but I got a few picks here. Going to run through it pretty quick as we still have plenty of injury news to look at. And the Knicks being -1 here at Detroit is kind of dependent on Josh Hart playing for me. I mean, Cat also questionable. I don't know if the Knicks play any worse without Cat in this particular matchup, especially without Jalen Duren. The Pistons not going to be able to be as physical down low. I mean, this is basically a narrative play in terms of Detroit got their get back big time when they played the Knicks for the first time this year, beat them by, 30? Knicks were in a complete funk at that point. Now they are the number one team in terms of defensive rating, net rating during this 8-game win streak, really doing a good job of shoring up all the defensive issues they had earlier when, as Josh points out, it was simply effort, not executing on that end, not executing Mike Brown's scheme. They are now funneling the most shots to the mid-range in the NBA, which is exactly what you want from a defense after giving up the most shots at the rim and the most threes right there along with the Pelicans up to that point in the season. Detroit, they are giving up they're the worst corner three defense in the last 6. It's all the stuff I talked about a couple days ago before they played the Nuggets. I mean, they've just been a bully where they've played bad teams really well, beat the crap out of them, and they bullied the Knicks last time out. I'm sure the Knicks will remember that. But 1-7 ATS, their last 8 against playoff teams. This is now a playoff type matchup. Clearly, the Pistons were looking ahead to it a little bit by losing to the Wizards, but I don't think part of their plan is losing Duren in that game, and that's going to be a big deal again here, considering they've been number one in the percentage of paint points in their last 8, and now the Knicks are going to be able to match up much better in the paint with Mitch Rob and company. I mean, if Cat's out, it just means more Mitch Rob, probably better interior defense, and a lot of those backup guys playing well. But it does really matter if Josh Hart plays. I mean, he's the heartbeat of the Knicks teams, the guy you can depend on to make sure that they are actually giving full effort on both sides of the floor. But I mean, with him out there and with OG, I really trust them to limit a Cade-centric team. OG Anunoby just absolutely playing on fire here in this last 8, and really the central piece of that top net rating in the league. Second game, Bucks hosting the Pacers, and got to go over here. 222, pretty low total. And the Bucks offense has been terrible, but they just got KPJ back for one game, and all of a sudden lit it up in an outlier shooting game with the Pelicans that did go to overtime, but was still going way over this total without that. And I mean, their offense is just going to be able to sustain something here with 2 point guards with Rollins and KPJ, and it's a great matchup for both of them. The Pacers are allowing the third most points per game to point guards in their last 7 and giving up, and their games have totaled 223 or higher in 7 straight. Granted, their last game was with the backup squad there against Utah, but Indy on the road has not really been the same type of team. So I would lean a little bit towards the Bucks here. They have some questionable tags, Bobby Portis, but this is as far as narrative stuff. Again, this is a Miles Turner revenge spot. Bucks have won both so far this year. And I mean, they might have just gotten a commitment from Giannis behind closed doors. He had that tweet saying he's going to try to attract talent rather than depart for talent. So not necessarily planning on 100% leaving this summer. And that can provide a big lift for a team that's been dealing with that cloud for a few weeks now, playing just absolute awful ball while they wonder if their face of the franchise is going to get moved. Bucks defense, the biggest issue has been just giving up threes. I mean, with that drop D style. And I don't know who on the Pacers I'm really scared of shooting. I mean, Nesmith can get hot, but I mean, with Mathurin out of the lineup here, they're bringing in Zoo, I think, for his first game if he's cleared. It could be a little clunky on offense for the Pacers. So that's why I lean towards the Bucks. But I mean, the Pacers have played really fast on the road, 104 pace that last 5 on their road trip. And trend here is the Bucks are 6-1 to the over when they're on a rest disadvantage, and those games gone over by 19 points per game. Bucks played in overtime 2 nights ago, so that is a little bit of a rest disadvantage, while the Pacers sat out most of their starters there 2 nights ago. Play props, Derrick White here. Love this play with Anthony Simons moving on. Looks like we'll have Vooch debuting for the Celtics. 2 games without Simons this year, though. Derrick White, 19.5 and 8 on 26% usage. And it's a pretty good matchup here against Miami. Bottom 5 allowing assists, above the break threes, and rebounds to point guards. It's a situation where if Hero doesn't play, Jaylen Brown's not going to be able to isolate as much. Like if Hero plays, I'm a little more concerned about the Celtics moving the ball and it popping. But Hero is officially out on this road trip, so that's why I think the Celtics will have more of that crisp ball movement in and out. And when they do, Derrick White usually benefits from the assists standpoint and from hitting threes. Last day, he leads Boston in passes, 11.1 potential assists per game, only getting 6.7 actual assists. Still, the prop at 5.5 seems very good here against a Miami team that just pace up and therefore gives you more assist opportunities. And I mean, the threes, though, I like adding these points because, I mean, he could easily top that as well. Kind of a bad shooting year in terms of outlier percentages for White, but still 36% at home versus 28% on the road. And he has been lights out when he's got extra rest here, 43% on 3 days rest. It's not an extra rest spot for Boston other than the fact that they won easily in Houston 2 nights ago. But I think it's more about Simons being out. He went nuts off the bench last time they played Miami, and White and Pritchard had a rare complete off game, both of them. But the game prior to that, White absolutely torched Miami, 33 points, 9 for 14 from 3, added 6 assists. So it is a good matchup for him. And now with Simons out there, the Celtics are going to have to lean on these 2 guards, White and Pritchard, a little bit more the rest of the way. And the Clippers are, it's John Collins and Kawhi now, pretty much in terms of creators, experienced front court players. I mean, you're surrounding them with Kobe Sanders and Jordan Miller and Chris Dunn, who's a D-first guy. So I think we can keep banking on the increased usage for John Collins. The points are creeping up a little bit, and the projection has him going under on the PRA potentially, but over still on the RA, which is implied over, as you see with the odds here. But as far as PRA, he's topped that in 7 of his last 8. Books are trying to catch up to this elevated role as the Clippers have kind of read the writing on the wall with the James Harden, and then surprisingly kind of trading Zubac. The last 4, Collins is up to 17 points, 7.3 boards, 2 assists. His 12 rebound chances is second behind Zubac, who was at about 20 rebound chances. And then you get 1 game without Zoo, where they got blown out by the Cavs, but he still led the team in passes and had no assists on 3 potentials because, again, they scored, 92 points, mostly just Kawhi ISO ball. Now you're facing a Kings defense that's very exploitable, especially for the primary playmaker. And like I said, Chris Dunn is not really a primary point guard. Like, everything's going to be running through Kawhi and John Collins as a secondary playmaker. So he can kind of benefit from some of those stats you see against the Kings as far as primary ball handler. He can benefit from their league worst 3-point defense in the last 8, especially 48% on corner threes. If you do want to add the points, that's where Collins could be scoring. But I think he may also be kicking it to some of these shooters and getting those assists there. It's 6.5 rebounds for a good price, but adding just 1 assist here seems like you get a safe bet to work with to start your card. And of course, we have to monitor the injury report, see how things evolve here on Friday, and see what we actually want to get down by the end of the night. But that is all the time we have for you here today. We will be back Monday with the full show, Josh and myself. But until we see you next, happy betting.